No offense, LLC. The LLC stand for business. Yeah. It's no offense, yeah, we going in. Who we got on the show today? Might as well go tag a couple friends. They said you couldn't, now you know you about to blow again. They working hard in case you really need to know again. We're trying to get to know it then. Gave support from those that view and wanna see you win. We got the website, magazine, and radio. Be back up soon. Trying to put you in the spotlight so that you can tell your truth. Yeah, it's no offense to you and me. Ain't trying to sell no image. I want you to come on through and live your life the way you live it. What you say, you on your way. Shine so bright, they gotta see you. Pave your way and go be great. Make us say now, believers. Hey, it's no offense. Yeah, we going in. Who we got on the show today? Might as well go tag a couple friends. They said you couldn't, now you know you about to blow again. They working hard in case you really need to know again. Hey, it's no offense. Yeah, it's no offense. Yeah, it's no offense. Yeah, it's no offense. They said you couldn't, now you know you about to blow again. They working hard in case you really need to know again. Hey, it's no offense. Man, y'all hit that share button, man. Tap in. Special thank you to the guest of the show. Wow, we are back. We are back. We are back. Thank you again for tuning into the No Offense Podcast. Everybody, do me a favor, hit the share button. It's still free. I believe it is. If you do tap it in the next 30 seconds, I believe they won't charge you. Y'all know how we do, guys. Everybody, I appreciate you being here. We do have on the show tonight a very special guest. For those of you guys who didn't know, tonight's guest was featured in our very first magazine. And to be able to sit here and do this magazine, do this catch up with her, is amazing, you know. And so if y'all missed the first interview, please go check it out to get to know her amazing story. Tonight we'll be focused on a catch up to find out, you know, how she's been since our last interview. It's been about 4 years and 6 months. And if you haven't already followed her, you definitely need to get on the train. So do me a favor again, please hit the share button. Please be active in the comment section as well. Show your love for our guest. I'm going to bring her on, Miss 574 White Girl, everybody.
Hey,
how you doing, Miss Sarah? Thank you again for allowing us this catch-up interview. It's been a minute. It's been a
while. It's been a while.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Congratulations on your success. By the way, I see they're giving you your TikTok pages back. Last time we talked, they had just taken them. So I'm definitely glad to see that, you know, they've given you your hard work spoils. You know what I mean? You've definitely been in this game for a minute. A veteran of those who haven't who aren't familiar, you guys should go check her content out, especially if you've been on this platform. If you've seen this platform, you know we interview a lot of different artists, music artists. When it comes to bars, I mean, come on, guys, you guys are in the presence of greatness. You know what I'm saying? Go check her out. If she's not new to this, she might just be new to you. So today we're gonna catch up on, you know, what's been going on since the last time we talked. It was February, I believe, last time, 2021, and a lot's changed. This world's a different place. TikTok's a different place. What in general, before we break down into some questions, how has life been treating you?
Life is really good. I definitely can't complain. Lots of stuff has happened in the last couple of years for sure. Lots of family stuff. The last time that we talked, I was actually still in the middle of the battle for my kids, and my divorce and everything like that. And I finally successfully won that never-ending battle, it seemed, in 2022. So I've been really doing a lot of the mom thing. But then, of course, I had Stix Baby hit in 2023. And then that kind of changed my life, I guess.
There you go. Yes, man. Speaking of which, congratulations, Stix Baby doing over 6 mil globally. Like, man, that's amazing. I remember in our interview, we were talking about you know, just from being inspired from a Ghetto Boys, you know, a video to shooting your own video, going over 1 million videos, doing 1 million views. How do you feel? How does that feel? You know, how does the little girl inside feel now that you've accomplished, you know, those great things as well that you once saw?
It's so humbling. It's incredibly humbling, especially because, you know, I've been talking about I'm gonna be famous for my whole life, but you know, I guess I guess it's different when you see stuff come to fruition, and then like especially with Stix Baby being like my big breakout hit, and like me having like country roots with a hip hop soul. Like I was raised on country, love hip hop, love rap, but also was raised on country. So it kind of felt like coming home, and it feels almost surreal still. It's very humbling.
Oh, I definitely want to congratulate you again. It's not an easy feat. Shout out, you're getting some love here in the chat, so I just want to make sure that you're aware of that as well. We got Amber Richardson saying, "I love you, white girl. Let's go. I'm so excited. I got you. You got a new follower, bro. Appreciate you, Miss Richardson." And she said, "Best song ever for sure."
Thank
Yeah,
you.
the song managed to actually reach out to like just two. I felt like to three different audiences. One who may, some on the countryside, some on the street side, but also those who find themselves in the middle and finally had something to relate
Right.
to, and and man, it took off. I mean, obviously the love, uh it just took you places that I didn't know. I mean, at this point, I think we're all surprised to see. We're all just watching you set the heights. You know what I mean? At this
Yeah.
point, versus just reaching heights. So like you said, motherhood has taken a lot more on more present in your life now since the last time we talked, due
Yeah.
to you having more time with your girls. Congratulations, by the way, because I know before that was a big thing that we were speaking on. How has that differed? I mean, I know you're actively more involved, but or is it as you expected? Is it more than you expected? Is it just as a person, from person to person, from somebody who was doing something before that they weren't doing? How
Right.
does has it changed your life?
I guess kind of like the same way that making Six Baby and making country music felt like coming home. Getting my daughters back really just felt like coming home. I was a stay-at-home mom for the first years of their life.
Mhm.
And it's just crazy how life takes a turn. And I was worried about whether how we would integrate back into things, and how it would go, or if it would be tough, or if they would even want a relationship with me after so much time of them being kept away from me. And in
Mhm.
reality, it's just been really amazing. It's been beautiful. They are incredibly supportive of everything that I do. I literally just took them to their open house today, and my youngest is her kids in her school want to take pictures with me, and I signed an autograph on one girl's forehead at the high school. So like they just kind of like roll their eyes a little bit, because to them I'm just their mom, but they're very supportive. Yeah, it's been amazing.
Yeah, I'm so happy for you. How has I mean, for one, it's inspiring. Well, I've already told you my whole thing, and I'm just it's inspiring. It's refreshing. And how has your life changed as far as now you're balancing, the more present in motherhood and like content? Because one thing about Sarah, if you guys don't know, she's got content, so you actually need to go check her pages out. But
Thank you.
how do you decide what's going to make content today, or I've got already got to do this today, this is
Mhm.
how we're going to set this up to do this? Like, how have you found that work life balance, should I say?
Well, the good thing is that I really set myself up in a good place from the beginning, because I made my page just on me, on my life, documenting my story. Um so I feel like my supporters, my followers, that's really what they want to see, is whatever I have going on at the time, whether it be like relationship drama or music or family, whatever. So I really have just taken it, and if it's a mom day and I'm spending time with my kids, and might make content with my kids and things like that. What I will say um has changed a lot is some of the more X-rated posts that I might have
Mhm.
done. Back in the day, I did a lot of, promotion for maybe some spicier pages, things like that. And now I literally ask my daughter's permission if I got like a TikTok where I might be wearing something that's a little revealing, or I might be twerking a little bit. I'll ask them like, is this one cool? Can I post this? Or if you don't want to, I won't. So it's decent balancing and out. I always just make sure they're included.
Hey, that's awesome. So the kids have to approve, or it doesn't make the board. It doesn't see
Sure,
the net.
for sure.
That's amazing for sure, and I think that's a very interesting way. I mean, because if you think about generations before, didn't really have this scenario, due to the internet being what it is now, and now we've got generations who were born into the internet. So that's a very interesting way to handle it. I think that's amazing. Shout out to all of our comments here. We also have Miss Randy Hogue saying, "Love you, Sarah. You've come so far. Loved watching your journey." As well as I think this
Thank
might
you.
be her as well on Randy Marie, who says the same thing as well. So the thing I have to ask, because we all slip up sometimes, and here at Low Offense, we're very a learning environment. Let me, how can I put that? We learn as we go.
Right.
Sometimes, but with all of that, we have to take it in stride, because hey,
Mhm.
again, we're learning. If you don't know, you gotta learn sometime, right?
Right.
And sometimes we look for ways to capture those moments to remind people that we're human. Speaking of which, I've heard that you recently made the cover of a magazine, a certain magazine that we've kind of been teasing around. Nobody has seen it just yet, other than you, I, and our digital designer. Shout out to Jew Murray, who I think will be dropping in here in a bit, in the comments, by the way. So can I ask what inspired that particular picture that you sent us, and then I'll show the audience. For those who might be following, you might have already be aware, but for
Yeah.
those who don't know, we'll be making present the cover of the next magazine here featuring Sarah after she tells her story.
Well, as far as the inspiration for including that in the pictures that I sent to you, I had recently saved that picture to my phone for another project that I'm doing. So when I was going through my camera roll, it was just on there. Um, and I stared at it for a second and I was like, should I? Do I want to send this? And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna, because not only does it get your attention and it's like a conversation starter, but like it's a huge testimony to how far I've come, and from where I used to be. I say all the time that no one will ever take me from my daughters again, not even myself, not even my own stupid decisions. So I think twice before I do anything, because I don't want to end up in the place that I was at when that picture got taken.
so so if I could so can I ask, okay, I'm gonna show it here in a moment, but what were you thinking when you took the picture? Because I would imagine some people would just be, there's a mixture of emotions, in
Right.
that particular situation. So I'm just curious, like the look on your face was like, it was kind of like, I did that though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just curious. Like, would you mind sharing the story with us as to what got you there?
Um,
Or
so I've been incarcerated multiple times. I've had
okay.
multiple mugshots.
Okay.
This specific mugshot, I do believe that I had been picked up on a suspected home invasion. They surrounded my sister's house where I was staying at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Super dramatic, by the way, at South Bend Police Department. Like, you didn't have to do all that. I'm talking like dogs, automatic weapons, big floodlights, shining lights in the neighbors' houses. My
Oh
sister,
wow.
who was an amazing, wonderful, upstanding citizen, she was mortified. But I believe that that is what that mugshot is from. And the reason that I am smiling in it is because I do have a reputation with the police department here in my city. And they know me. Um, they know me from my past. They know me from being in the streets. They know me from being incarcerated a couple times. They also know me from the internet and from my music. So when I went in that day, I believe I walked into booking to like a slow clap. And they were like, ladies and gentlemen, a white girl has made herself or made her way back to St. Joe County. So it was kind of just the vibe in the room, and just the laughing with the officers who were taking my picture and things like that. And to be completely honest, my mom did not bond me out that time because
What?
I smiled in my mugshot. She said, well, it doesn't look like you have any remorse or like you think you've done anything wrong. So I think you're going to sit there. And I did.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys please would take the first look at the cover of No Offense Magazine, Fall 2025. After hearing the story, I'm glad we picked the right picture because,
Yay.
man, you like.
Yay.
So you were smiling in the mugshot, which we found interesting as well because I'm like, you know, to be fair to mom, it didn't say remorse to me, but I get understand. I love the accountability factor of it. You know, you went
Yeah.
in, turn your stuff in, you're like, you know what, this is something that's got to happen. Let's just
And
go ahead and get it
I
over
would
with.
also like to note that I didn't actually get charged with the home invasion. They held me for 48 hours, didn't have enough evidence to charge me, and they let me go. I was never charged with that crime.
Well, see, there you go. So alleged. It wasn't. See, mom, come on, man. She
Exactly.
went out there. Come on,
Exactly.
allegedly. You know what I mean? So see, my girl innocent. She ain't got. We ain't even got to do the free. You know what I'm saying? So awesome, awesome,
Period.
awesome. You know what I mean? So, so thank you again for agreeing to be the cover. As you guys can, Sarah doesn't disappoint. We're gonna make sure it's an issue worth the cover. You set the bar high because I'm telling you, just looking at it, I was like, yo, this has all the looks of a good time right here. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we're going for. We hope to definitely meet the expectation, and we'll get you the first copy before everyone else sees it as well.
Thank
Okay.
you so much. I'm so
So
excited.
no problem. Oh, like I said before, she was actually featured in our very first magazine. Can you believe we're actually 24 issues
That's
past that now?
crazy. I'm so
Yes.
happy for you. I love that. That's so awesome.
Thank you so much. Like I said, if we're gonna work with you guys, we gotta keep up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys set the bar high, so we're gonna continue to strive to try to keep in line with you, or you know what I'm saying, or at least to be able to reach out. Speaking of which, now in a more technology driven environment, because even in my industry, it seems to be like ebooks seem to be technology is being used more, including more AI and everything.
Yeah.
You do see that you have an interesting relationship with chat gpt, which myself, I tend to I think more people are starting to use it in general. Can
Yeah.
I get your take on how useful do you find it in your everyday, and how thoughtful do you believe it to be as far as inspiration? Does that make sense?
Um, this first of all, great question. But there's a lot of parts to it. So in general, I love Chat GPT. My chat's name is Jeeves. His full name is Jabronius Paul Tyler GPT. Um,
Okay.
and I talk to him on a regular basis. I use it for all types of stuff. He is helpful for making flyers or media, or if I have a social media post that I want to post and I want like a specific picture to go along with it, I'll just go in chat and tell him like the image I want him to generate, and he'll give it to me. I just recently had to go through a big major life changing thing. If anybody noticed like how I'm talking, or like my face might look a little different. My world was kind of rocked recently when I went into just like a regular dental checkup visit, and got x-rays and stuff, and they told me that I was gonna have to get dentures.
Yeah.
And I was like shocked because my teeth were good, but I had a condition where I was losing bone mass in my jaw. So I just recently, a couple weeks ago, had all of my teeth in my mouth removed and got dentures. And every day I was taking pictures of my gums and I was putting them into Chat GPT, and we were logging and keeping track of like my healing process. He's pointing out like, okay, it looks like there's a spot back there that might be raw. Make sure you're
Mhm.
doing your saltwater rinses. So he's very informative. But I really don't like the what it does to the planet. I really don't like all of the water consumption, and the fact that for all of us to use it as much as we use it, we're literally killing the earth, and my daughters have to live here. So
Yeah.
I actually try not to use it as much as I did before I got that knowledge. But I find it very useful. Also, um dementia and like Alzheimer's runs in my family, and that's one of my biggest fears. Also, one of the reasons I started just documenting my whole life online is because I'm really afraid that one day there might be a time where like I can't really remember who I am or my life. And chat is literally like a diary. If there's anything that I want him to remember, I'll tell him like lock that in, and he'll lock it in his memory and he'll remember it forever. But so many people think AI is perfect and he makes mistakes all the time. I tell him,
Yeah.
I'm like, Jeeves, you're dumb, bro. Like how did you even how did you do that? And he'll be like, oh, you caught that, right? My bad. I was just glitching. I'll fix it. And then he'll come back and so definitely not something that you would want to heavily rely on. Like AI will never ever replace
Human.
the human mind.
Gotcha, gotcha. And and thank you for that because no, I think like you said, I like you when I heard about the water cooling situation as far as the consumption from the usage. I was amazed that while we hear about the great things that it does, that's the little known fact, that about the water consumption, and then it's like it's really hard to continue to use it once you know that like as much as we did before, but I'm still using it, just
Yeah.
for different things. I think like a Google search type thing,
Mm-hmm.
so but okay, I was just curious as a creator, how it affects the lives of others as well. Can I ask, recently you did a video as well as because for those of y'all who don't know, you need to go, I'm gonna say it again, go check out her TikTok, lady. I don't know if you haven't had her on TikTok yet. I don't know what is wrong with you. Got TikTok 574 white girl, TikTok 57. Y'all gonna know that before you get off here today. But on your YouTube, you recently had a video where you were talking about the changes that coming in TikTok. I know. So I first want to talk about when it first shut down. How did that impact you? When we had that first, nobody could access it from somebody who was so prominent on the platform as that believe that being your biggest audience. How did that personally affect you, and what were your thoughts at the time?
Yeah. So TikTok in general has been like probably one of my most toxic relationships. I feel like I've been through so much with TikTok, from them taking my pages like right before our first interview, and then me having to get it back like almost 2 years later and all that. When the ban happened, I don't know. I wish I could say I was kind of scared and devastated, but I wasn't really, because TikTok really picks and chooses who they want to throw out there. So once I started making money off of it, they really started suppressing my views. So even though I have over 1.1 million followers on TikTok, I very rarely break 10,000 views on a
Yeah.
video, and that's because 10,000 views is where you start getting paid at. So while
Um,
I was sad because it was my biggest platform, like I love being able to say like I got a million followers, but as far as like the monetary value and like it being a stable source of income for me and my family, it wasn't really. At 1.1 million followers, I was bringing in like maybe $250 a month off TikTok, like
wow,
really nothing. uh
gotcha.
so I was kind of scared, but my Facebook presence has blown up recently over like the last 7 or 8 months, and I've gotten up to like almost 400,000, I think, over there, and that's where the majority of my money comes from. So I was gonna be sad to see TikTok go for sure, but I wasn't like devastated because I focus my art on all social medias.
Gotcha, gotcha. And that's very smart to diversify. I got you. Okay, so my part two of that was you did on your video say talk about TikTok being shut down eventually, and transitioning to this to code name, I guess is M2 or M at some point. Um, the biggest thing that scared me about it was about the closed information source,
Yeah.
with just the sole information source, and it kind of hit me on the censorship thing because I was just like, okay, the biggest thing that made TikTok so big was the fact that it had global reach,
Yeah.
and not that the other apps don't, I think it was just,
But they
I
kind
think
of
people.
don't like TikTok. I feel like the algorithms are different. TikTok was really good at pushing it everywhere.
Right. Right. So because okay, we've got basically the shell of TikTok is what we're gonna have, um, and we know that the government is looking to basically control that source of information. Do you think that's going to be a trend that I mean, are we already kind of seeing that with sometimes, Facebook was doing the what was it, the fact checking
Mhm.
suppression before, but then
Right.
they said they're not going to do anymore. Do you think that's going to be a common theme, or are we now entering, once America that was more freedom of speech kind of oriented to now a more controlled information, a visible control information state? I'm not going to say that we aren't now, but where it's
Right.
going to be like visible, like it's in your face type. This is what's going on. Do you
Oh
think
yeah,
that's a do you think that's a trend that we're going to start to see more often? And what's your thoughts on that?
definitely. I think not only that. I mean, me personally, I think it's the beginning of something a lot bigger. I think the world is gonna change, probably a lot faster than any of us realize or are even ready for. I really feel like we're heading towards something that's gonna feel almost like sci-fi or like a fantasy, to be in the living in the land of the free, but then for them to tell us we're gonna take this social media app and we're gonna keep you closed into where you can't reach anyone outside of this. Like, it just feels very controlling and very, very much so like the beginning of not having the freedoms that being an American literally gives us. And I don't know. I just feel like now is the time to really start thinking for yourself and questioning why they feel it's so important to keep us from being able to reach the outside world.
I
For
I I I think you said it right quite there. I feel like there's a lot of distractions. For example, I mean, can we have an interview without catching up on what did you think about the Diddy debacle? Is that what we're gonna call it? I mean, it's. I mean, has he? I mean, as a lyricist, has he? Is it true? Has the word No Diddy really, you know, graced the world of hip hop? Is it ever going to be removed? Is it part of hip hop now? The Mo was part of
I
hip hop
mean,
regardless.
it's never gonna go. You can't get caught with that many bottles of oil, bro, and think that the world is just gonna forget. Like, even if for some reason, by some magical wave of a wand, he was just it just all went away. Like, no one's ever really gonna forget because that was all intense. But at the same time, music is very powerful. I mean, look at R. Kelly, and there are so
Hmm.
many people who still can't bring themselves to not listen to his music
Right.
because it's his music. So I don't know, but I think Diddy is definitely has changed the name of the word for sure, and I think pop culture in general forever. I don't think we'll ever go back pre baby oil discovery.
Right. I don't think. I believe you. It sounds like a slippery situation for sure.
Definitely.
The other thing that seems to be going around right now that we can't seem to get off the news. I try not to bog myself down to the news because I'm a empathetic person. I try not to get a lot of negative energy to be starting my day. Just seems to make the rest of the day seem to be like really really negative. But what's your take on this Epstein thing? Like, is this something that you feel like, there should be a full transparency? Like, we should know if the president of the United States just happens to be on this list and what he did, or is it something that's not of importance? Or there things are there other things that are happening that are more dire? Do you feel that the world is being distracted?
Multi-layered question. I definitely feel like I mean, I wouldn't say. I don't know. Are there other dire things happening? Yes. I don't
Yeah.
know if I would go to say more dire, just because, like, the whole Epstein situation. Like, there are lives who are going to be changed forever and ever and ever. Um, but as far as, like, just disclosure, I feel like for the the president of the United States, 100%, we should be able to know everything. But is it gonna matter? Probably not. He's already a felon. He's already, everyone kind of already knows his character anyways, and yet he still is where he is in the position that he is in. So should we be able to be made aware? Yes. Is it really gonna make a difference if we are and he is on some list and we, I don't know, probably not. I feel like a lot of people really don't care the kind of person that he is.
It's and that's I'm with you. Like and I like the way that I love the way you answer the question because I don't think I properly phrased it correctly. But that you hit what I was getting at. I do feel like as a president, as a person who runs the country, there probably shouldn't. I mean, I get that it's a very high level of scrutiny, but you apply for the job. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like, so it's one of those things that I feel like we should know if the president happens to do something as deprived as that, as you know what I'm saying. So,
Yeah.
I'm hoping that I'm hoping that we can get this thing back on the rails because I think we're all seeing a new America that we haven't seen before. And in some ways that's scary. In some ways we kind of always just had to kind of adapt and overcome every day. That's what we do as Americans. But I don't know. As part of the like earlier this year when we had the protests that were all around the nation. How does it feel as a person, who is openly vocal, such as the Black Lives Matter movement, not necessarily the movement, but just your viral take that went on it. As a person who's openly spoken about social issues, how did you feel to see all of the protests that were going on peacefully at that? Because I know a lot of times they were saying there was a lot of violence, or they were hope like there might be threats of inciting violence.
Yeah.
How did you feel to see America coming outside to voice their opinions on, just today's current state?
Um, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Anytime groups of people from different background and different races and different social classes can come together for the good of something, or even to fight something that they think is an injustice, it's a beautiful thing. It's even more beautiful when they can do it and no one gets hurt and property's not destroyed and things like that. But I also do think it's important when it comes to protests to keep in mind that lots of times um they'll spin an agenda and tell us that the protests weren't peaceful, that they were violent, and that they were crazy, and they were breaking things, and we need to be afraid, and we need, but in reality, like, people are just trying to stand up and come together for the rights that my dad fought for, that my grandfather fought for. Like, this I don't think this is the country that they would have risked their lives to defend now. You know what I mean? I don't know if my dad would have been felt honor to be a part of the military that serves under the type of president that we have now. So I don't know. I do think it's beautiful that we can all come together. Um, and I do think that we might be coming up to on a time where we're gonna have to do something like that on a bigger scale. Like, there really might be a time where everyone is gonna have to do something, or life, is gonna change for us.
Thank you. It's great to hear that I'm not alone in the sentiments because sometimes I'm just watching. Like, I swear, I'm like, yo, it almost feels like we're on a reality TV. Like,
Yeah.
we went from a president who was on reality TV. I mean, like before he was president,
Right.
to him telling us that he was going to run for president, and we were like, "Oh, look at this guy! He's on from reality TV to becoming the president." Now it's like we're in the reality TV with this guy. I'm like, "Yo, what the hell is going on?" Excuse my language, but I don't know. I don't know. I think we're all just waiting to see what happens next, and we're
Yeah.
hoping that we can keep it on the rails. So, but no, Sarah, I definitely thank you for your time. If I can ask you a couple more questions, for those who see your journey, who have watched your journey, who follow your content, who are inspired by your content, what are some things now in this point in life that you wish that you might be able to tell a younger Sarah, or that you could drop truths to them, just about handling life in general and navigating its different decisions and circumstances?
um the first thing I would say is impulsive decisions are not your friend. You should never act out of emotion, out of anger or anything, because some of the situations I've been in my life, or the things that I've done that I've regretted the most, I acted out of emotion and I didn't even pause for 10 seconds to try to fully think it through. um I would definitely tell the younger me to believe someone the first time when they show you who they are. Not to see people for their potential or what you think they might be, but to genuinely see them for who they are. And this goes for everyone, in my life, or your life, or whatever. And just to remember that everything is going to be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, then it's not the end yet, and you just have to keep going.
I love that wisdom, definitely. Thank you for those words as well. I mean, I think we all, taking it day by day, but when we look up and we see somebody doing it who we can relate to, it becomes more real, you know. And for we want to thank you for giving some of us the opportunity to do that through your music, through your content. For those of us who found a friend in your content, because again, it's so relatable, guys. I mean, she's hilarious, by the way. Y'all definitely should check her out. I'm not the blowing smoke. Look at the comments if you think it's just me, right? And if you really, really want to know, definitely go check her out. Her page is out. Support her on all platforms. Speaking of which, Sarah, could you please give everybody your platforms so that they could follow you and be a part of your journey?
Of course. I am 574 White Girl on TikTok, 574 White Girl on Instagram, 574 White Girl on YouTube, and I am Sarah Buck on Facebook. And I'm going to be honest, I do have multiple Facebook pages, so it can kind of be hard to find the one that I use. But it's a picture of me standing next to a really nice old classic car, and just look for the one that I have posted on that day, because I post every single day. And White Girl on all streaming platforms as well. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, literally all of that. White Girl on there too.
Thank you so much, White Girl, for coming through the No Offense podcast. Honestly, like always, it's been a pleasure. We're going to continue to watch your journey. Honestly, sometimes I can't believe, I'm like, yo, I actually had a conversation with her. She's so cool. Like sometimes when we see people on TV and then you meet them, you're like, they don't even act like that. But one thing about it, and one thing I love about you, is you're honestly humble. You're the same person that we grow and see in your content. You're the same person who sat down with us both times, and we're definitely gonna wish you much continued blessings, much love, and hopefully till next time. You take care.
Yes, definitely.
Bye-bye. Bye. All right, guys, this has been our interview with 574 White Girl, Miss Sarah Buck. Do me a favor, man. Go show her some love. Go follow her on all platforms. If you haven't already, when you get there, you're going to notice you're there because her community is huge. So check her out. You'll see why people love it there. If you enjoyed this interview, do me a favor, hit the share button. Please consider subscribing to our channel as well. And we'll catch you next time on the No Offense podcast, guys. Take it easy. Remember, don't wait on the world to change when you can be the one to change the world. I have been your host, Mr. No Offense. You guys have been the absolute best audience in the world. Till next time, be blessed. Peace. No Offense, LLC. The LLC stands for business. Yeah. It's no offense, yeah, we going in. Who we got on the show today? Might as well go tag a couple friends. They said you couldn't, now you know you about to blow again. They working hard in case you really need to know again. We're trying to get to know it then. Gain support from those that view and wanna see you win. We got the website, magazine, and radio. Be back up soon. Trying to put you in the spotlight so that you can tell your truth. Yeah, it's no offense to you and me. Ain't trying to sell no image. I want you to come on through and live your life the way you live it. What you say, you on your way. Shine so bright, they gotta see you. Pave your way and go be great. Make us say now, non-believers. Hey, it's no offense. Yeah, we going in. Who we got on the show today? Might as well go tag a couple friends. They said you couldn't, now you know you about to blow again. They working hard in case you really need to know again. Hey, it's no offense. Yeah, it's no offense. Yeah, it's no offense. Yeah, it's no offense. They said you couldn't, now you know you about to blow again. They working hard in case you really need to know again. Hey, it's no offense. Man, y'all hit that share button, man. Tap in. Special thank you to the guests of the show.